I was a young closeted kid in the 1980s growing up in the Ralph Klein era, and my parents were the last people I told. And why is that? Because it's the hardest relationship. It's the hardest people to tell.
An emotional appeal from Alberta's senior-most Liberal MP expressing his opposition to proposed policies from that province's government. The proposed changes include new restrictions on youth access to things like puberty blockers and hormone therapy. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith in Ottawa to open a new office representing her province says her decision was informed by conversations with a trans Albertan who came to regret her decisions.
We have a transgender woman named Lois Cardinal, who, after 2 years, started her transition at age 19 and received bottom surgery 2 years later. And this is her words. She says, "As I lived with shame and regret for 14 years, I came to realize it wasn't just myself to blame. It was the psychiatrists in Edmonton, the doctors in Montreal. They kept persuading me, despite my serious misgivings."
But statistics suggest that's not the experience of most trans people. A 2021 review of 27 studies covering almost 8,000 trans teens and adults found on average 1% of people expressed regret, ranging from temporary regret to detransition. For comparison, a 2020 National Institute of Health paper found the regret rate for knee surgery came in at 22%. Faye Johnstone adds very few trans people receive surgery or even a first appointment that quickly.
You often spend years struggling to come to terms with the fact that you're trans, and then you come out of the closet, and then you tell your family. And then maybe 3 years later, you get access to your first appointment. And then maybe 2 years after that, you get access to the actual care that you need.
Smith says her province isn't restricting access to trans care, but enhancing it, adding Alberta's working to recruit more specialists. But that isn't convincing to Edmonton MP Randy Boissonneau, who says the province is already not spending the health and childcare funding Ottawa gives it. Boissonneau still won't say if the federal government will challenge Alberta in the courts, but says for now he's counting on the people of Alberta.
We have to kill this bill before it gets to the House of the Legislature. And people need to call their UCP MLAs, particularly those in Calgary and around the city of Edmonton, to tell them this is not on. This is not the Alberta of today.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.